Now, the reason this is working is because and the other thing you want to make sure you do is you see that there's an icon. Go ahead on that screen. See how I'm getting feedback?
Yeah.
So mute the YouTube. There you go. And now you won't have that feedback. Okay, so that's all you need to do for that until the end. It's always funny that it's mirror image. So go back to Zoom. And it tells you that. Thank you. Okay. Now the other thing in setup you'll want to do under live transcript is the first one, enable auto transcription, the bottom one. Yep. No, I'm sorry. Actually click on the button. The button is the words above.
Oh.
I don't know why it's not doing it all of a sudden. Maybe unclick the. I see. By clicking the blue thing, click it again. And okay, there you go.
Okay.
And now click. Well, it's working. We can see it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So then just kill that screen. Okay. And then the other thing you're going to want to do is obviously we're going to record, but when you press start webinar, if you've done it right with the templates, then you don't have to worry about recording, because as soon as you start webinar, it will record.
I see.
Okay. But then there's another thing that's actually quite important, and that's chat. A couple things. One, so go ahead and go to that bottom bar again. Where's the chat? So under chat, hover and see if there's a little arrow up on the right side. Is it? Oh no, it's over here. I'm sorry. So I'm sorry, click on chat. Okay. And then over here, there's a little more ellipsis, right? Attendee can chat with, and this is the default, hosts and panelists.
Okay.
We were in a situation for a long time where we let attendees have their chat be seen by everyone. And there were these incredibly angry and sometimes really scatological arguments going back and forth that almost had nothing to do with the, other than saying that we should all be killed, had nothing to do with the topic at hand. Okay, so you click on hosts and panelists, and then as host, you've now set that as for everybody that comes in after you.
Right. Okay.
And then go back to the bottom thing one more time. See the little arrow next to green screen share?
Yes.
Up. And then the default is only the host can share the screen. You should, for most meetings, you should put all panelists.
Oh, okay.
And that's why, and so like in the preservation meeting, if the architect wants to show the plans, which is probably better.
Right.
And then you just kill the screen. Okay. So those are the steps. You just kind of walk across the bottom thing there.
Right.
And then, so now let's start the webinar, and that's the last piece. And the first thing that's going to happen is that it's going to record. Okay. Okay. So that's how you start a meeting.
Sounds good.
All right. I don't know that there's anything else to do in this screen to show you how to do, other than I can't let myself in. All right. I don't have another attendee. If you click on attendees and hover over somebody other than you as host, under more, there'll be an option to remove.
Right.
And every now and again, thankfully not too often, and that's one of the things that webinars do for us, is that you have to register. So therefore they don't, Zoom bombers look for the path of least resistance.
Right.
Although I will tell you that there was one time early in our Zoom life where a bunch of Russian guys entered our meeting. And the reason we know they were Russian guys because all of their names appeared in Cyrillic. Obviously there to cause mischief, but waiting for the meeting to start. And one of our colleagues, Rich, is fluent in Russian. So he starts talking to them in Russian about, and basically he said, I was telling them that their ancestors would be embarrassed for them and that they would be doing a dishonor to their country and their personality. And they all left.
Wow. Okay.
Went someplace easier. Yeah. And there have been a couple of really unfortunate times, one for a president on, and one having to do with really ugly racial things. But they're gone. Right. And okay. So that's basically it. You've now started the meeting. And the only other thing you do is under panelists, the co-hosts of the, rather the co-chairs of the meeting. And when you click on more next to their names, one of the options is make a co-host,
Okay.
which you can do. Now, the other thing to remember is that if you are the person who sets up Zoom and opens the meeting,
Mhm.
right? Then if you log off, the meeting's over.
Right.
So if you don't intend to stay for the whole meeting, and that's between you and Stephen, I don't know how that's going to work. That's,
Right.
you know, yours and of course, Michelle, but whatever all you guys decide, it's above my pay grade.
Right.
Whatever the decision is, when the host leaves the meeting,
Mhm.
one thing the host must do is make somebody else the host.
Right.
So, and when you hover over those names, there'll be options include make host, make co-host, and remove and a few other things. Okay. All right, let's take a break. Let that sink in, and you can play with this for a minute and
Sounds good.
let it. And meanwhile.